I swear, I didn't mean to read it. But what I found in Chloe's diary wasn't just a secret crush or a petty grievance, it was a carefully constructed escape plan, detailed right down to the date. Chloe. My best friend since kindergarten. The kind of person who radiated sunshine, who'd laugh so loud it was infectious, who was always the first to offer a shoulder or a ridiculous meme. We were at her place for a sleepover, like we had 100 times before. We were rummaging through her old bedroom closet, looking for a board game, when I stumbled upon this dusty, ornate journal tucked away in a shoebox under some faded yearbooks. It had a tiny, tarnished lock, but it was open, just barely ajar. My heart did a little flutter. I knew it was wrong, but the curiosity, it was a physical ache. I told myself I'd just peek at the first page, just to see if it was old poems or silly crushes. I did. And that's when everything changed. The first few entries were innocent enough, typical teen worries about homework and crushes. But then, the tone shifted. Slowly, subtly, like a gathering storm. Words like emptiness, suffocating, tired. I felt a cold dread creep up my spine. My gaze darted around the room, making sure Chloe wasn't nearby. She was still in the kitchen, making popcorn. I couldn't stop. It was like a train wreck I couldn't look away from. The entries became less about daily events and more about a persistent, gnawing pain. She wrote about wearing a mask, about how exhausting it was to be Chloe the happy one. And then, the words that punched all the air out of my lungs: I've been planning this for months. The quiet exit. No fuss, no drama. Just peace. My hands started to tremble. This wasn't some dramatic flourish. The details that followed were chillingly precise. Methods. Dates. Letters she'd drafted. There was even a mention of a specific, upcoming Tuesday. Just 3 weeks from now. My best friend, the girl who lit up every room, was meticulously planning to end her life. I felt a wave of nausea. How could I have been so blind? We talked every day, shared everything. Or so I thought. I scanned more pages, desperate for some sign, some way to rationalize this as a dark fantasy. Then I saw my name. Alex, she'd written, is the only reason I haven't yet. Her laugh, her stupid jokes, she's my last tether. The twist wasn't just finding out she was suicidal, it was finding out I was her unwitting, fragile anchor. The guilt, the fear, the sudden, crushing responsibility, it hit me like a physical blow. My stomach churned. The popcorn was forgotten. The board game was a million miles away. I closed the diary, my fingers numb, and slid it back into its hiding place. When Chloe came back in, humming, holding a giant bowl of popcorn, I tried to smile, but it felt like my face was frozen. My mind was racing, 1,000 possibilities, all terrifying. Do I confront her? Do I tell her parents? Do I betray her trust to save her life? There was no right answer, only a horrifying choice. That night, I didn't sleep. The next morning, with my heart pounding like a drum, I pulled her aside. I didn't mention the diary directly. Instead, I just talked. I told her how much I loved her, how important she was to me, how I'd noticed she hadn't been herself lately. She tried to deflect, to laugh it off, but I pressed on, my voice shaking. Finally, I just said, Chloe, are you okay? Really okay? Because if you're not, I need you to tell me. Her bright, brave facade crumbled. She started to cry, silent tears at first, then racking sobs. It was messy, it was painful, and it was the hardest conversation of my life. It took weeks, months, for her to get the help she needed. There were therapy sessions, medication, tough days, and small victories. Our friendship shifted, deepened, became more vulnerable and real. I learned that sometimes, the brightest smiles hide the deepest pain, and that true friendship isn't just about sharing laughter, but about being brave enough to look into the darkness with someone you love. It wasn't my secret to keep, but it became my burden to share, and ultimately, our shared journey back to the light.